All right, Mac Mafia, look what we got in store for you today.
We have the new MacBook Pro with the M4 Pro chip, 24 gigs of memory, 512 gig SSD. So let's unbox and get into it.
Love it. And I love the MacBook Pro engraving. Oof. The black. Let's open it up. There it is. Beauty. What a beauty. This is a beautiful device. I am coming from a M1 MacBook Pro from 2020, and I just decided it's just time for an upgrade. I was doing video editing. I just got the M4 Pro. I got the iPhone 16 Pro. So I decided, you know what? Let me go and complete the ecosystem. And I really am happy that I did, because I wanted a bigger MacBook. I had a notch nook, which is something I had before. It's a kind of dynamic island forming nook thing for the notch. I'll show you deeper in the video. It's pretty cool. But I've really just thought, you know what? Let me just do it. The OLED MacBook Pro is probably going to come out in 2026. I didn't really want to wait that long anymore. I wanted a new Mac. I was running out of storage. I wanted a faster chip. So I just went ahead and did it. All right, so right now we are setting up. I'm gonna go through that process. Migration Assistant. If you have information on another Mac or Windows PC, you can transfer it to this Mac. You can also transfer information from a Time Machine backup or another startup disk.
So I actually don't have my M1 MacBook Pro anymore. I did get rid of it. So I don't really know how I'm gonna do a migration assistant. I don't really know if it's a cloud thing. I'm not sure when it comes to Mac. With iPad and iPhone, it's a lot easier because you just have the cloud backup. I'm not sure if there's cloud backups with MacBooks. I guess we'll find out now. Kind of a shame, me being an Apple fan, but I've never really gotten into the Mac. I've always been an iPad and iPhone kind of guy, and Apple Watch. Mac is a new territory for me. Mac has always just been there when I needed something foolproof and ready to go. Mac has just been there and has done what I need to do, but I never really gave it the attention it deserved. And I'm going to start getting into that now with this new era of MacBook. Quick disclaimer though, I wouldn't recommend doing that. I did already just wipe out the Mac and got rid of it because I didn't really need anything on there. All the files I had were from before. I didn't need them, or I already saved them into my phone or my iPad. So I'm pretty good with that.
So I've actually been dying to have MagSafe back. I know this is what the computer came with, but I do have a 96 watt charger, I believe. And this is my iPad Pro charger. So I might put this with the iPad Pro, maybe not. It's honestly better if you use less watts to charge your devices, as it's better for the battery health. I know as weird as that may sound, but this is my setup now. I'm gonna have this to charge, and I'm just excited for MagSafe. I love MagSafe. I always love MagSafe. I was upset when they got rid of it. Now I'm upset they got rid of the touch bar, which is why I was kind of hesitating to get rid of the M1 MacBook Pro from 2020 with the touch bar, because I love the touch bar. But listen, you gotta move on. Maybe, and I really wouldn't be surprised if they brought it back, but it is what it is. So we have two Thunderbolt ports here. We now have eligibility with Thunderbolt 5. We have the other Thunderbolt port here, or USB-C charging port, I'm not sure if they're all Thunderbolt 5. Let me find the manual real quick. Oh yeah, so Thunderbolt 5 USB-C on the right, Thunderbolt 5 USB-C on the left, the MagSafe 3 port, the headphone jack, the HDMI, and the SD-XC card slot, which I'm all looking forward to using.
All right, so it did take me a minute. It is trial and error. Obviously, I'm not using Migration Assistant because I'm not migrating anything. I'm going to set this up as a brand new Mac. So not now. I'm going to sign into my Apple account quickly.
Let's continue. And by the way, I'm almost positive with the Thunderbolt USB-C ports, if you don't have the MagSafe charger, you can charge with a regular USB-C to USB-C charger like this one here. Just plug it in and it should charge up. Just make sure it's Mac compatible. You don't want to use your iPhone charger for your Mac. It's never going to charge. So yes, make this my new Mac. Apple Intelligence, of course. Okay, Touch ID. Set it up. See how fast. Let's see how quickly it does it. Edges. And I need to put Touch ID on the iPhone. All right, welcome to Mac. Thank you. And I love the Sequoia wallpaper in the back. Continue. There we go. That's it. We're in. Very simple. All right, so messages is syncing. Some of my files already from nursing school have come in. And iCloud is starting to do its thing. Everything's coming in. The screen mirroring, the apps, everything is coming in. Slowly, slowly. Here are the first few things I want to do. First thing I want to do is turn on Stage Manager, which makes everything really nice and seamless. I love that. The next feature I'm turning on is use my Apple Watch to unlock my Mac. That's really helpful instead of having to put in my password or do Touch ID. As soon as I open up the Mac, if the watch is nearby, it recognizes it and just turns it on right away. Next thing I want to do is turn on Apple Intelligence. Okay. Siri is ready, just like that. Me personally, I don't share audio recordings. I don't like the idea of it, but Apple gives us those options. All right, here we see here, and this is supposedly supposed to come with iOS 18.2. We saw it in the code that we're gonna see how long it takes until it's fully charged. I'm not sure if that was a feature before, but if it was, that's pretty cool. Hopefully it comes to the iPhone and iPad. Next thing I want to do is turn on the battery level. Sorry, that took me a second. So I go to Control Center, go to Battery, Show Menu Bar, Show Percentage. Show Control Center too, why not? And I heard that there's supposed to be a high power mode somewhere. I gotta figure that out. Oh, here we go, high power. So there's low power mode, which we know. And then there's high power. I like the idea of that. Okay, so we have Apple Intelligence, we have the battery on. Now let's go and get into some apps. First, I wanna download GoodNotes for school so that the clouds can come together and bring everything in. Then there's this app called Notch Nook, which as you can see here, turns your notch into a nook. And this is probably gonna look good with the new 12 megapixel camera up front. I think instead of 720p or 1080p, somebody correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But as you can see here, Notch Nook gives you so many options and features and kind of enhances your Nook here rather than just being standby. Kind of like the dynamic island for the Mac. So I'm gonna download that. All right, so here we have Notch Nook. So it shows us a little tutorial, but as you can see here, it's now a lot more interactive. So let's do a little tutorial. Swipe horizontally to change song tracks. Swipe vertically to open, close, or hide the notch. Click to open the Nook where your widgets live. and drag and drop files to access multiple functions. So let's start. Could access the camera. Let's see that new 12 megapixel camera. You're gonna see yourself. Turn it on. There we are. And then when it comes to music and whatnot, media player, shortcuts, mirror, these are all the Nook settings. We'll play with that later. We have the tray if we want this to like hold the file for a second. We can do that. I'm just gonna lock this so that it stops closing. We can move a bunch of files here. So for example, if I just want this to be held here for a second, I could also give it access to my calendar so that I can see what's going on there in the Nook. I can make it wider, slimmer, whatever I want to do. So it has a bunch of features which you could play around with. I'm gonna do that later. I'm not gonna bore you guys with this too much, but yeah, it's pretty cool. Next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to my trackpad settings and I'm gonna click tap to click. So this way, instead of having to forcibly click it, which I don't know if you guys noticed before, I was clicking, I don't know if you heard it, but I was clicking and it was not doing it because before I was used to just tapping with my finger here. Show you, I'll bring this a little bit lower. I'll just tap with my finger here and it would select or deselect instead of having to click physically. But now I turn that on, I could just tap on, off. I'm also gonna clean up my dock a little bit. And then maybe adjust the size. Maybe I'll just make it small. Put it on the side for now. Turn magnification on. Nah, I don't want magnification. It's a little extra. But I do want that genie slider. But I could position it on the left. I can position it on the right. Or I could position it in the middle. That's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna make it about this size. It's good for me. So genie effect to minimize. All right. And let's see if we have any other way to make maybe the magnifier a little bit less crazy. Here we go. So magnification. There we go. That's much better. Much more seamless, I feel like. Maybe a little tad bit more. Yeah, I like that. I don't like when it gets super large. So I know there's a huge debate. What's better? iPad Pro, MacBook Pro, iPad Mac, iPad Mac. Oh, I wish iPad Pro had Mac OS. I wish this isn't that. All that aside, MacBook and iPad is one of the greatest duos I've ever seen in my whole entire life. They work so well together. So with that being said, I'm gonna be turning on universal control. My favorite feature. All right, so we're gonna go to settings or system preferences, universal control. It's in the display settings. Link to Mac or iPad, as it says here. Allow your pointer and keyboard to move between any nearby Mac or iPad. So for those of you who don't know what universal control is, you can control your Mac and your iPad with each other's keyboard. So right now, I'm over here and I can control my iPad with my Mac's trackpad and keyboard, and vice versa. I can take my iPad keyboard and come here and control it. So this is literally like one of my favorite features Apple has done. I like it better than having to use this as a secondary display. I prefer to be able to control the two simultaneously without having to have the iPad act as a second display. It's much better for me. But yeah, that's universal control. So as we enter the new world of AI, Apple Intelligence, I think we have it both activated here. We have Apple Intelligence here, and Apple Intelligence which looks amazing on the iPad. I'm ready. It's gonna be really good. And I'm looking forward to what these devices can do together and the journey I'm gonna go on with both of them. It really is, they both are amazing pieces of technology, and they have unlimited potential, I feel. And yeah, they're really both amazing pieces of technology with unlimited potential. There's no cap on their potential, especially when they're working together. These two are like best buds. They can do so much together, and they can make my life so much easier when it comes to productivity and workload. I can't live my life without either of these devices. I need my Mac, I need my iPad. When I got rid of my Mac for a few days before this one came, I was using just my iPad. And yeah, you could do it, but I really was turning and looking for my Mac a lot. I missed it, and I know I just can't not have a Mac. And the space black on both of these is just beautiful. Let me see. Is it the same? Yeah, they're literally just about the same. This one's obviously a little dirty. I've been using it a lot longer. I have to clean it. But honestly, now I'm intrigued to update my Apple Watch Ultra 1 to the 2 and get the black, satin black color. But I don't really think that's a good investment. There's not really many differences. A little bit brighter. I like having the oxygen sensor on this. The other one doesn't have it yet. But yeah.
Little side note for my wallpaper loving friends. If you don't have Unsplash wallpapers, I really don't know what you're doing. This is one of my favorite wallpaper apps. So it just goes right here. Can launch a system startup. Actually, I'm not going to keep that on. I'm going to update it manually when I want. I'm not going to let it do it by itself. And update all screens and desktops. So here we have options for wallpaper. So let's see. Chicago, Illinois. Beautiful. Look at that. So much better looking. So much cleaner. I love it. Looks great. And when I get tired of it, it's just so much easier to set a new wallpaper. Look at that. Beautiful. It even keeps your history. I'm going to keep it with this for now. I love it. When I get tired of it, obviously I'm going to change it with ease and a snap. Instead of having to go to system settings, wallpaper, It's so annoying. I wish there was like an easier way. Honestly, I like to you can customize it and whatnot, but having the ability to have that as a second option is great. So we are just about done with the setup process here. I do want to give a little bit of a critique though. Apple, it's a little bit embarrassing the way you guys set this up. It was just 3 separate videos. You had 3 events. It's kind of annoying that you guys aren't doing live events anymore because of that one instance on the iPhone 10 launch where Face ID didn't work.
Here is iPhone 10. Now, unlocking it is as easy as looking at it and swiping up. And, let's try that again. Ho, ho, ho. Let's go to backup here and get right in. So here we are, and
It happens. It's okay. It makes you guys look more human. It's fine. What do you guys have that theater for? My second critique is this. This is literally the same cover as the M3. Why you guys just couldn't be bothered to change it for the M4? Like, I really don't understand why leave it. My last critique is this. Despite the lackluster event and whatnot, this is a great product. However, it was really, really crazy, and I have to give credit to Sam from Apple Track for pointing this out. I didn't really notice that thing about the whole Russian guy who was able to get the MacBook early and literally just show us all what it would look like. And it's very surprising for Apple to kind of not crack down on that anymore. I remember the last time that happened, again, credit to Sam, was when the iPhone 4 or 4S was coming out and someone left it at a bar or something and they did a review on it. I haven't seen anything like that since that. So for this guy to just be able to get the MacBook Pro early and just unbox it and show it to us, and for it to actually be true is sad. I was shocked because I was like, there's no way Apple's gonna make the box look the same as the M3, but they did. So that was just crazy to me. Credit again to Sam from Apple Track for pointing that out. But that's kind of like my last critique. I feel like Apple needs to be a little bit better in its secrecy. I know they have been, and people always like rumors, they're hard to keep up with and whatnot. And leaks, it's very difficult to crack down. But something like that, someone to be able to see the MacBook Pro early and show it to us before release and fully do an unboxing and for just literally all of us to be able to see it. I'm going to try and show the videos here.
I don't even know where to start with this one. A Russian YouTuber out of the blue posted a video just showing a full-on unboxing of the M4 MacBook Pro, which, just so we're all on the same page, is an Apple product that hasn't been announced yet. It is not a real thing currently. We have not seen a leak like this since 2010, when someone left the unreleased iPhone 4 at a bar and a reporter stumbled across it, giving a full early look at the iPhone 4 before Apple revealed it themselves.
Crazy. But regardless, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts, opinions. I'd love to hear some feedback, how the quality is, how the video editing was, as I am a new channel. And I really, really appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and let me know if you have any questions.